Hello there everybody and welcome back to another video, and as you've seen from the title, this is the work that I've done to Planet Industrial's Kerr Stuart Victory. Now our story starts right here with the loco out of the box as it is, and if you want a quick one sentence review, this is a very good model, maybe the best industrial model out there, certainly one of the best in my collection. So here it is. Went for the lime green one because lime green is cool. I then went on to detail it with parts from the detailing bag, which are the sandboxes and the ladders up onto the running board, as well as the etched number plates. So this is everything that comes in the box. It then got me thinking about the prototype I wanted to weather it like. So here are just 3 basic social shunters of a similar sort of vintage, working on a colliery system. 2 of them I think are Mountain Ash locos actually, which are big inspirations for Heapton Colliery. So I started the weathering, and this is my equivalent of Not Black, which is a weathered black from Rain Latch, which I just brush painted on. It is meant to be an airfix paint, but it brushes on quite well if you don't put too much on. And I'm putting this on every single black surface on the model. Black wouldn't stay black very long on a working locomotive, so I decided to get rid of it using this paint, just using a brush. Began to start rusting parts of the smoke box up, showing it's older there, and doing various different parts. Kind of got me to this point here, where I posted it on my story. You can see I've actually added a copper cap as well to the chimney. Basically, I thought the loco was missing something. It turned out that it's just quite lightly weathered, so I went over with some more rust and some more Not Black. I then uploaded the pictures to Facebook, which is good. I don't really use Facebook very often because I found out one of my aunts is a massive racist, but it's quite good because people tell you nice things about your models and ways that you can improve, so I did that. Based on said feedback, I stripped away some of the bunker weathering on the back and both sides and just reworked it. I went through my detail box to find anything that might be useful. So there's some lamps, some chains, some oil cans, and actually a little generator unit as well. I glued them on with some epoxy cement from Tamir and carried on working through. So let's get up close and personal with the model, and I'm going to start at the very top, the copper cap chimney. They're just cool, aren't they? Like, let's be honest, they're just cool. The mid potteries line, which is the narrow gauge line I am working on building a layout for, and I've got a couple of videos up on the channel about. They've got copper caps on their chimneys, and they just look quite cool. That was based on a narrow gauge line where the owner insisted on the locomotives having copper cap chimneys, and I just think they look quite ornate, and I think it's a nice juxtaposition to what is a very authoritarian design to have a copper cap on it. It shows that there was some love for this locomotive at some point. But the rust on the smoke box, the different types of rust, so the new rust, the flaky rust, the old rust, show that this has actually been worked very hard. As does the scorch marks, which has resulted in rust on the front, and the ash that's coming out of the smoke box as well there. Seeing that on real life locomotives and on pictures. So it's all giving that impression of a hard working locomotive. Again, we've got our dirty buffer beams there. All of this has been weathered. There's not a lot that's still factory green, if anything. Again, along the sides we've got the weathering, the etched nameplates and works plates, the crew, various fireman's tools, the can, the lamp, the chain, the generator, which isn't representing the generator that's powering a big old electric light on the front because there ain't one. It's representing a light in the cab that's been retrofitted. Red rods just look cool, don't they? And they weather quite well, and again, it's a nice difference from the green of the locomotive, and it ties it with the buffer beams quite well as well. But red beams are just cool, red rods are just cool, and it kind of helps draw some attention down below the running line, along the running board of the locomotive there. I'm going to spin it round so we can look at the back, which is somewhere that I think is potentially weaker on this model in terms of my weathering of it. The roof's not brilliant, it's just had a dust in. of weathering powders there. But something I'm quite happy with is this little 3D printed bucket that's gone on the back there. It's in a slightly Great Western style, the way they used to hang it on the tool bracket of the pannier tanks. I think it just looks quite cool, and it does look very industrial, having it just hanging off the back there quite perilously. I just think it looks quite cool. It's a nice detail to have. Again, crew in the cab, works plates, name plates, a toolbox up there which came from the locomotive box. That's just been rusted up and had a couple of different colours put over it just to show that it's been used, and maybe this isn't the first locomotive it's been on, or it's been on this locomotive for a long time. Again, the red rods, we've painted some other parts, some coppery colours here. Don't really know what they are. I've just seen some other people painting like that, and I just think it looks quite cool. We've got a lamp which isn't stuck down. That's embarrassing, isn't it? I'll stick that down later. Again, some other oil cans and some lamps up on the top there. Weather on the boiler, I think, is quite cool, and I think suits the model quite well. Of that hard-working locomotive that's been loved and is being loved, but is also being clearly worked hard, and I think that's the vibe that I hope this model gives. I think it does. Little things like the streaking down the side of the tanks help that, but the fact you can still see it's green, and the green is clearly something that's standing out compared to other models that I've got and would be running on the layouts this is running on, such as Lonesome Street. So yeah, those are the details of the model that I've added and I've picked out and improved. So why don't we get on to the fictional history. Built in 1917 for the Inland Waterways Department, the loco that would become Heapton number 3 was originally number 15, then 601, and at work in Portsmouth. At some point before 1920, it was sold and moved to the growing Heapton Colliery Light Railway and was painted into a lined green. Though it was not the third locomotive owned, the plates were taken from the original number 3 on the line, which was a Hudswell Clark 040. Upon arrival, it was the most powerful locomotive on the line and continued to be throughout its working life. It worked the colliery and goods services that the Heapton Colliery Company required, being some of the heaviest on the line. It worked through the Second World War and internationalisation to 1969, where it was scrapped at Moneysey Yard, still on the Heapton Colliery light rail system. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed working on it. So, if there's any way that I can improve the video or the model itself, let me know in the comment section below. If you're interested in learning about this coach that I've kind of showed in the latter parts of the video, there's a link to that in the description. There's a link to the Mid Potteries Railway, the number 1 here, the work that I've done to it. The work that I've also done to number 3 here has also been posted, as has the layout update for the Mid Potteries layout that I've been working on, which is an A4 box file. And there's also a video dedicated to the layout that this will predominantly be running on, Lonesome Street. It fits inside 2 box files, so that's also linked in the description below. So I'll see you very soon, hopefully. Bye.